fellow Americans, this November, we need you to hit those polls. Help us, help you. Send in your votes and ensure that we, the Heavy Metal Party, are victorious in this campaign to make this great nation even greater. The super industrialization of America is right around the corner. Soon, we will make sure that all Americans are able to drive tanks to work. And if you do not live in the United States, don't worry. This current administration can't tell you the way, so you'll be able to vote for us one way or another. So make sure that you vote for your representative, I, the Memphis Accelerate, and my vice presidential pick, Jesus, and we will make America heavy metal again. But yes, hello everybody on YouTube. It's your boy, the Memphis Accelerate, welcoming you back to check this out. The show we take a look at whatever deck we want to take a look at and have ourselves a good old time about it. Normally it'd be altered today because we've been trading off, but this today is a special day because we're taking a look at another one of our Discord decks. You know, I get some requests on our Discord. Don't forget to check out the Discord if you're interested. Well, we're taking a look at a 60-card Machina deck, courtesy of our boy, the First Alchemist, and this is another one of his legendary 60-card beasts. Although, compared to the other ones, it's probably like the most straightforward of all the decks he's ever sent me, so we're going to be taking a look at some heavy metal machining. We got the Machinas out the wazoo, good old Citadel and Ruin Force. We got the Therion's King Regulus. We got all sorts of heavy metal machines, a little bit of train on the side. It's not really the main focus here. It's mostly just about summoning lots of machines and beating down the opponents. Very straightforward. Unlike American politics, it's about as straightforward as humanly possible. So we're going to be going into EDO Pro. We're going to be showing off this deck, showing off the wombos and the combos, the what do's and the what not do's. Having ourselves a good old time, just summoning up big old machines and running over your neighbor's garden or something like that. I guess that's what is that what you would do in a tank? Probably. That's what I would do. So we're going to head on into the action as always. If you want the whole deck list, it's going to be at the end of the episode. But for now, let's show off this heavy metal machine deck and have ourselves a good old time. Alrighty, everybody, our first opponent of the day, now the card game. Now, we can go first or second, but I much prefer second with this deck because it's very much about beating into the opponent. We do have going first sorts of hands, so it doesn't matter too much, but I would say second is ultimately better just because we like to beat into our opponent, that sort of thing. Although we could have gone first with this one as well, but it all works out. It all works out. So what do we have for a hand? An interesting hand, to be certain. We got our Machina Ruin Force, which is like our big bad beat stick of the deck. 4,600 points of beat stick that can negate things in the battle phase and just cut my opponent's life points in half. He is the face of the heavy metal party, if you didn't know. As well, we have our Machina Fortress, which is like the workhorse of the whole deck. Metal Cruncher's pretty good too. Therion regular, we have a pretty nice hand. So we're gonna normal summon Metal Cruncher. I can do this because I have no monsters. And when he gets summoned, I reveal 3 Earth Machines in the deck. My opponent picks 1 to go to the hand, and the rest of them will go back into the deck. It's also a really good thing to bait out like in perms, which, yeah, they're gonna bait out some kind of hand trap, but that's okay. Metal Cruncher, he'll get his shot in. He'll get his shots in. But for now, let's go ahead and ditch Ruin Force. Summon out Machina Fortress. And we're going to activate the Therion's Coliseum, our field spell. This adds a Therion, and we're going to get our boy Regulus. We already have a regular for later, but Therion Regulus is really like the top of the Therion's list. You just target one of the machines in our grave. We're playing nothing but heavy metal machines today. And we're just going to summon him out. We'll get this. And because we have a regular, we have 2 negates on board with this. So, sadly, I don't have my limiter removal. My limits are still very much in effect. But we can at least get started with this. So let's go ahead and let's see. This guy's playing crawlers of some form. Possibly. It's hard to say. I'll risk it for a biscuit. Let's send in Metal Cruncher. Crunch some numbers. Ah, I was right. Okay, so Symbol Skeleton. So this is some kind of lore sort of deck. Guy's got Mekk-knights, and he's got Mekk-knights and Orcust and a little bit of World Legacy stuff here and there. It's one of those decks. Okay. Not the worst thing in the world. And as for the end phase, don't really need to link off anything at the moment. We're pretty set. We'll end our turn, see what my opponent can do. It's a little unfortunate we're up against Mekk-knights, though. If I had known, it's been a while since I've had to worry about columns for good old Mekk-knights. Okay, well that's a little annoying, but not the worst in the world. At least I won't take any damage. Won't take any damage. Okay. It's an interesting way of going about it, but okay, you do you. Summoning a Mekk-knight goes to the hand of the end phase. I assume you're just gonna try and use Gears to go for like a combo here. Okay. Alright. Little annoying. Just a smidge obnoxious there with like the Dark Ruler no more, but I think we can still come back from this. Definitely can come back. Actually, that's game right there, more or less. More or less, because I can literally end this guy's whole career right now. Okay, nice, quick, and easy first duel. They don't always go this way, but when they do, this is what happens. We banish a couple machines equaling level 12. We summon Ruin Force from the graveyard. And then we're just going to enter the battle phase and wipe this guy out. If he tried to do anything in the battle phase, I can just stop it right there. But this is essentially what this deck is going to be about today. It's going to be summon out big honka-chonka machines, hitting our opponent really dang hard. It's nothing too crazy, overly complicated. You know, like, this guy's deck is probably too complicated for it to work as well as you'd like it. Although, I'm surprised he didn't get to do anything. I mean, he wasn't locked into anything as far as I could tell. So, I don't know. Maybe he just got, like, a really bum hand. I couldn't tell you, but regardless, that's what we're doing today, folks. We're going to summon out our big Machina boys, hit our opponent really hard. So let's go for duel number 2. Show off more what these mechanical boys can do. We can do even more damage. Alrighty, our second opponent. Let's go and do it again. Alright, so what do we have for an opening hand this time around? Not too shabby, not too shabby. I don't like all the back row, though, because I don't have any back row removal for the most part. Except for, like, you know, some niche cards I have that can remove back row, but not anything too crazy. Alright. Tricky business. Tricky business. And I had a feeling this was going to be some trap card nonsensicals. I've seen these every once in a while. Using, what's it called? What's that trap called again? Transition rollback. Which can copy any of his traps in the graveyard. Okay. So, what we're going to go ahead is the following. We're just going to go ahead and discard one of our Machina monsters. It can be whoever we want, really. Doesn't matter. We're going to use Machina Redeployment, one of our goated cards, because I can search out 2 Machinas. We want Unclus Spare, because it will be summoned, and then you will use its effect to mill another monster. As well to that, I say to thee, I would like to have Machina Fortress, please. Please. I would appreciate. So yeah, Unclus Spare will use its effect. He's the guy you want to search with redeployment, like, more often than not. And just because he gets you a free body on the board, he locks you to machines, but we're playing, like, nothing but machines, so that's not actually an issue at all. Well, yeah, we'll get Unclus Spare. He'll send Ruin Force to the graveyard. That way we get that all set up. And then we're going to keep doing as we do. This guy's got stuff. The only thing I'm worried about is, like, not battle traps, because, you know, Ruin Force is perfect for stopping battle traps and the like. I'm more worried about things like Dharma Cannon right this moment. Dharma Cannon would be a little annoying. Just a little bit annoying. So we'll see what this guy's going to do. So we're going to go ahead and normal summon this guy. Machina Possess Storage. Nice guy too, but you need some setup, because when he's normal summoned, he can actually bring back a high-level, or just any Machina monster in the graveyard. It's pretty neat. Ice Dragon's Prison! Ugh. Gross. Well, that's a little annoying. I mean, I had a feeling he might have something like that too. I was just kind of hoping for the best. But yeah, that's gonna... Yeah, he's gonna summon Citadel, he's gonna banish my fortress. Well, aren't you just Mr. No Fun Allowed? Alright. Plan B, then. What are we doing for plan numero B? I could go for Dreadnoid. That is an option, because then I can float into somebody else and then go into double A Zeus and clear board. So why the heck not? Let's give it a shot. Let's go for Dreadnought Dreadnoid, the train on a boat. That's what I like to see. Good old train on a boat. One of the strangest little arts on the world. It's like they literally just shoved Dora into a boat. You can see it. I like to think that the front of this boat like opens up, and then Dora just like rolls out onto land. That's what I like to think, anyway. Anyway, so we'll attack into this guy. And you're gonna flip me face down. Why don't you just flip me face down? Why don't you? Alright, that's okay, because now he's down to one trap. Then again, he only needs the one trap now. Tricky business. We'll just have to end our turn and hope for the best. Although, he probably has another face. Still, he's got the rollback. He can copy any of these effects right now. Does that count? Like, that counts whenever, right? I think it does. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. When a trap is activated while this card's in the graveyard. I think rollback works with that. I would assume so. Or using whatever the Lord's name this is. I'm going to banish card to return to the graveyard. You're going to give me back my stuff? Okay. I'm okay with that. I appreciate you giving me back my machines. Because then I can summon Ruin Force and ruin your day. Although you are going to ruin mine a little bit. Because you are going to summon, like, at least one of the monster. One Canadian. Hold the mayo. Alright. I mean, one good thing. This will get flip face up, and then I should be able to protect my Dreadnought from destruction. I mean, that just goes against whatever I was going to do with the thing, but I'd rather keep this alive if possible. I'd rather my monster live than die. Oh no, it's this thing. I forget what this does. You target a set card on the spell trap, send it to the graveyard, set a paleo trap from the deck. Ah, yeah, that'll do that. But luckily, while I like Overdrive on the board, because it lets me like tag out a machine for a new machine, that's pretty good. But this has an effect on the graveyard, so it's not the worst in the world. And let's see, I don't want to use it though, of course. I'm not quite prepared to do that. That's for when the duel gets long and hard and difficult. Alright, now we're fine. Let's see. Set card is destroyed, banish this card from the grave instead. Okay. Cambraster. Whatever your name is. Elemental Burst. Okay, that's the first interesting thing I've seen. Aren't all these water? You must have something, I mean, other than the gigantic splight, of course. That's obvious, but what on earth is this guy up to? Alrighty, so my opponent has finally battled me, and I thankfully was able to save Dreadnoid. Which I'm grateful for, because I wanted him to live. Now the big question is, what can I do to make it so my opponent doesn't survive this? That is the tricky bit. Another redeployment is not too shabby. We'll summon forth Dreadnought Dreadnoid back into attack mode. I kind of want to use redeployment. I'm just really worried about like these face decks. Yeah, that's the worst thing about these decks. Is that you don't know what those faith bound are. You and you. Summon forth Machina Ruin Force. We'll see what this guy does. If he goes like Dharma Cannon or something, then I'm pretty safe, I'd say. So let's go ahead. I can attack into that, attack into that. Yeah, let's go into the battle phase. Let's just enter battle phase and see where this goes. Again with the Canadian. Stop doing that. No Canadian. No. I already have one that plays Baldur's Gate with me. I don't need another one. They'll get jealous and stuff. Alright, what do we got? Again with the Paleos. I mean, the Paleos are going to keep coming back no matter what I do. Let's see. Can't flip up Ruin Force, but this is why we saved Machina Redeployment for now. Yeah, I can't summon another one, but I can get other things. So let's get an unclassed spare. And we're going to get... See, if unclassed spare sends Fortress, probably get somebody other than Fortress. Or I could get Re-Berserk. That's another option just to beat over what my opponent got. I'm just worried about what he's trying to summon into because of this thing. I assume it's going to be, like, totally awesome or something. Could be wrong. But, like, what are my other options here? The Citadel is already in my graveyard, right? Wrong. Yeah, there's my banished stuff. So, yeah, I already have Citadel set up. I'll just get another Citadel just to have it, just to have the darn thing. But yeah, there we go. Unclass spare, do your thing, get a fortress in the graveyard. That's what I really need you to, like, do for me. Alright. Unclass spare. Unclass spare activates. Oh, I probably could have gotten the level 4 monster. Got another rank 4 on the board. That could have been good too. Hopefully this will be enough. Hopefully. Alright. Discard Citadel. Summon out Machina Fortress. Yep, all the machines in the wild. Just gotta be careful about this muddy thing. This very interesting looking dude. Let's see. Target face-up card. On each player's field. Interesting choice. Let's use Machina Overdrive here. I'm going to get a couple of my machines back. Specifically the banished ones. Hopefully I can draw into a high-level monster. That's the next best thing. Okay, I can work with that. Let's go for Cleafort Genius. This can negate his magicaloidal soul. That'd be pretty good. So let's go ahead and summon out. Machina Possess Storage again. We'll bring back Citadel for later. It can't use its effects right now, and it is in defense mode, but I will have Machina Citadel, so that's cool. That's pretty neat. Indeed, indeed, indeed. So this should hopefully bait out whatever this last set card of this guy is. So I assume that's what he keeps waiting on, because there's nothing else he can do. So really the question is, what... Oh wait, there's also rollback. That's true, there is rollback. Ugh. That's true. Let's activate Cleafort Genius, though. We'll negate Citadel and negate Magicaloidal Soul. One great thing about our Cleafort Genius, he's immune to spell traps. So even if he had a spell trap, it's not going to work on this dude. Let's see. Sadly, that's face down, so I can't use that. But this will work too. Let's activate Possess Storage's effect. We're going to bounce Citadel and bounce the set card. Now he has to play it, or else he loses it. That's right. I'm gonna force you. You're gonna have to be doing something. Okay, so rollback will now go into effect. And you're gonna copy Elemental Burst. Wait, you have all 4 out? Wait, hold on a second. Hold on, as a tribute to wind, water... Oh, he doesn't need to pay the cost of that. Ugh. Well, that's really annoying, but luckily Ruin Force got destroyed, so now I can bring back a banished monster. Haha. Didn't expect that one, did you? Also, I'm bringing back my Ruin Force because you're a silly person. Ha. Alright, the power of heavy metal. It's all about simple things. This guy was trying to complicate things with all of his trap monsters and things like that, and the traps may be powerful, but tank treads are stronger. So, there you go. That's what this deck has to do sometimes. Just keep things simple and think it through, and you're all set, My opponent kept trying to interrupt my flow, and that was a nice little combo with the rollback and the elemental burst. I cannot deny that was pretty dang good. Just free activation of that is pretty nasty, but it don't matter. Actually, that card's activation effect. Could you copy Waken the Dragon with this thing? That sounds pretty nasty and broken. I'll have to think about it in the future. But regardless, there's duel number 2, and I was just about to roll this guy over because 4,600 beat stick is something that this guy couldn't handle. So let's go for duel numero 3. We got time for one more good duel today, so let's go ahead and show off a little bit more what these Machina boys can do. Alrighty, everybody, our third opponent, the fighting third, which might become a fourth. I don't know. I like to keep the duels at like 3 at most, whenever possible, just because. Tournaments are like best 2 out of 3, so I guess it's like the whole point of the deck across. But if they're quick enough, I'll do 4th. But for now, I think we're okay. Let's see. Let's It's an interesting hand for certain. Certainly an interesting hand. What are we up against? Counter fairies. Ugh. Not a huge fan of that. Not a big old fan of that nonsensical nonsense. This here in my future America ruled by the heavy metal industries, there will be no counter fairies. All fairies will be asked politely to stop with their countering. They're fully allowed, however, to do whatever it is that agents do, but regardless of that. I guess we'll start with Droplet and attempt to expedite stopping the battle for Artemis, or at the very least baiting out one of his things. This way, at least he won't draw off of this, so that's cool. Let me think about this. Because it's small now. Let's go for Machina gear frame, which sadly, the artwork is broken. I don't know why, but it is broken. On my, I need to like reinstall EDO Pro one of these days. It's just not wanting to work. But we'll go ahead and attempt this. I'll be Machina Air Raider. Stop, get the cannon traps. Stop. What does this one do? Something bar shaft, I see. Alright. I guess we'll just have to end our turn, sadly. That's all we got. But Bullet Train will go off at the end phase. I do get back a gear frame, so it's not all lost. It's more of a matter of this is not going to be easy, because he has the Horny Heaven. And whatever this thing does. Oh, now he doesn't have that. What does this do? So he gets the Sacred Water of the Sky, which activates a field spell from his deck. Doesn't it just search this? I assume this has a reason. This will protect Celestial Night Lord Parshath. I see. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Okay. I would normally love to go for redeployment here. I just gotta flip a coin. Roll the dice. It's either a monster effect. Okay, it is not a monster effect negation. Okay. Good. Let's get my boy Unclasper. That way we can use Unclasper's effect. Summon that boy. And then that boy will send us another mechanical boy to the graveyard. I will have to beat over Artemis, possibly, because there's a chance that's another Horn of Heaven. I actually kind of believe that's exactly what that is. Actually, Base over machine, destroy battle or card effect. This is an Earth machine. So let's send Citadel to the graveyard. Yeah. Alright, battle phase. Punch Artemis in the face. This is for all the counters, you son of a gun. So attack into the Celestial Night Lord Parshath. We get destroyed. Citadel comes to the board. It's still the battle phase, so I can just attack into this thing. And I can also wipe the board thanks to Citadel's effect, but we're going to try and bait out, that spell first. Let's see. This is all monsters opponent controls. Indeed. So let's go ahead and attempt this. There we go. That's what I want to see. Now we've cleared the board, and this is counter fairies. Recoverability is not typically their thing, although the time therion Morganite, that would normally be an issue, but thankfully now should not be an issue, depending on what this does. Aha! Alright, there we go. That's gonna be a win right there, unless this guy's got something ridiculous waiting in the wing, which I don't believe he does. Okay, maybe I'm very wrong about that. I knew it was the Horn of Heaven! How did I know? It's the cheesehead. It's making me read minds and things. It's making me read the future. Alright, well, this is not ideal, but again, this is counter fairies. There is no counter trap that involves battle phase, and my opponent will surrender. As rightly they should. Alright. Well, I want to keep going, but at the same time, we've really shown off, like, the most of what this deck is about. Although we didn't really get to Therions much. This is going to make the episodes a little longer, but we'll go for one more. Just one more. I think that's okay. One more quick one, and then we'll go for the end screen. So one more duel. I think we've earned it. Alright, everybody, our fourth and final opponent, the last chance at romance. And we're going to be going a second here once more. Opening hand is actually a bit of a mess. Ugh. I mean, there's a lot of cards that can get us out of this mess, but I don't have any of them at the moment. And we're up against, let's see, 7th Tachyon. That's the, oh yeah, these guys. I've seen these once before. I've seen these in tests, and these are the Laurels archetype, or I guess they're the Argos archetype, which is kind of weird. I guess these are based off the actual Argo, like the ship from Greek mythology, but I don't know what the context is. Title the purple, Etio the dragon. I guess these are all like the different Argonauts and things, but yeah, this is basically a trap monster deck where essentially the trap monsters can be reset back into the spell trap zone under certain conditions. Pay 1,000, add an Argos card from the grave or the banishment back to the hand. I see. Put out a card or effect. Yeah, this can be summoned out. Let's see. Then if any banished Argos monster return a card on the field of the hand. So yeah, basically by banishing this, all of these traps have additional effects. Well, yeah, they can summon themselves out. This will... Lord, I can't read for the life of me today. It can return one of my cards to the field. Or from my hand. Yeah, to the field of the hand. It's not ideal. But with something like Machina Fortress, that actually works fairly well. Relatively well, in fact. Let's see here. I can special summon Bullet Train. Why not? Let's give this a shot. Let's give it a shot. We'll summon out Bullet Train. We're not going to use Bullet Train, but we're going to summon the guy out. We'll see where this goes. Got something. And I do have my normal summon still, so that's cool. But let's go ahead and summon out. Let's see. Level 10 Machine in the graveyard. Can I summon Ruin Force with this thing? No, I can't. So let's go for a Cleafor Genius. Because he's immune to all this stuff. Or at least he's immune to, like, spell traps. He's not immune to these guys. He's immune to anything else he might play. For that matter, immune to all that stuff. So let's go ahead and special summon. Again, bring back Machina Fortress, because you do this all day. I can do this stuff all day, sir. So let's go ahead and banish these. Bring out Ruin Force. Which is probably going to prompt them to actually use the Dragon Slayer, because why wouldn't you at that point? I'm not sure. But yeah, let's see. Does this do anything else? Every time it continues trap is summoned to the spell trap zone. 500 damage. Once per chain. Does stuff. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. The Flying Swallow. Okay, I'm gonna enter the battle phase now if y'all are okay with that. Let's go ahead and attack into the Purple Lightning. No, we're good. I'm just gonna attack into him with Machina Fortress. Beat over this Tidal Lightning thing. What? Oh no, I can't beat any of his monsters in battle! Ah! Oh no! I should have negated this when I had the chance. I was a silly person. Yeah, because I could have used this to negate Flying Swallow and then just beat over things, but... Oh, no! Okay, well, now you're going to... Now you're going to summon that out, so now it doesn't get that effect anymore, but... That kind of sucks. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. I really wish Ruin Force flew into Ruin... What? No. Okay, that's not the worst in the world. That's not the worst thing in the world, but that's still... Trap monsters. First it was regular traps, now it's monster traps. Me no likey. Alright. I see how this is going to be. Yeah, sadly, Savager only works with, you know, other Machinas. Sad to say, but it is the case. Okay, well now I'm just gonna start taking burn damage, which is not exactly the most enjoyable thing in the world. And I really wish I had one of my level 8 Machinas in the grave. That would have been way better. Sadly, I do not have unclass spare at the moment. So let's go ahead. Okay. Summon out Machina Possess Storage. We're going to use its effect. Get back our Machina Fortress. I think I can make this work. It really depends on what that face down is, which for all I know could be another copy of Flying Swallow. But we're going to have to give this a shot. Really don't have any other options at this point. Okay, so now you're going to use this thing. Which I assume is going to, yeah, bounce Machina Fortress, and you're going to use that thing anyway. Alright, well, this is all part of the plan, more or less. More or less. Uh-huh. I see. That'll go back to your hand. Unless you can activate it right now, though. I don't think that's an issue. Okay. And then this is going to negate my effects. Irrelevant. Don't need them. And then this is going to put itself into the zone too. Okay. Oh, now what? Oh, you're going to negate that too. Okay. Stop doing things. Stop it. It's my turn. Not okay. Stop this nonsensical nonsense. Okay. Does this do anything else? Oh, that does have a battle effect. Okay. 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 Let's go ahead and discard a machine. Bring back Machina Fortress, as we do. And but I don't have enough machines in the graveyard to do that. But luckily, we have Resavager, so I can make my monster bigger. It's touch and go, but if I can make it through this, I might be able to still pull this miracle win off. It all just depends. This guy still hasn't used that face down effect. Still don't even know what it is. And he's gonna use that stinking thing. Okay, well that's annoying, but it could be worse. So let's just enter the battle phase and see what happens. This still works. This effect is still live, so let's attack into the purple lightning. See where this goes. Come on, use an effect. I dare you. A triple dog dare you. Didn't fall for the triple dog. Alright. That's okay. Well, I really was hoping I could get a fair... If I could have had Regulus, I could have, like, interrupted at least some of that nonsense, but it's gonna have to be what it is. I mean, I'll do plenty of damage. The only problem is that if he gets, what's it? If he gets the one that prevents me from destroying him by battle up again, that could be a smidge of an issue. So, let me think. I don't have a field spell in the graveyard or anything in the graveyard, really. So I'll just have my turn for now, I guess. I suppose. We'll see where this goes. Okay, another foul. That's you're gonna be very low on life points at this point. We'll get another one of your cards back, though. Get back, I assume, your base monster, Adra the Laurels. Oh, you'll summon it. I see. Can't do nothing in response to continuous traps this turn. And you get 2 spell trap. You get 2 of those things. Okay. That's not necessarily good. Yeah, you got the swallow again. And I assume these are the only ones of these, because that's all we've seen. I'm going to go off on a limb and say that's all that they've got in terms of various effects. I mean, it's still a lot of different effects, but I think that's all there is. It's just the lightning, the slayer, and the swallow. Could be wrong. Probably wrong. We'll find out. Okay, so title is out on the board again. That'll add another card. That'll get another Adra. Burning me for life again. And then this will come out, and this will gain you my points back. And I'll take burn. Is this kind of feels like playing up against Life Twins, honestly. It kind of does, with all the burning the opponent and gaining life back at the same time. It's like that one Life Twin card. Can't say I approve too much, but it's what it is. Perhaps I should have linked off the lava. Aha! You used the battle effect in the battle phase. And I just have, yeah. They have my life points negate their attack, or their effect. You will be able to bounce Ruin Force, but I can work with that. More or less. It'll have your life points. You don't get any of your whatever this was going to do. Okay. That's what I've been trying to do this whole time, is just use Ruin Force to try and interrupt this guy. Just interrupt a little bit of their flow. Alright. So, that one's there. Okay, Unclassed Spare is there. I'll take my damage, and I think that might actually be the death of me if I think about this more logically, because... yeah, he special summons a monster back. I'm gonna take 500 damage, and I just lose. God dang it! Ah! Freaking idle monsters! Why do they have to be about burn so much? Trick Stars are about burning. Marincess, okay, they don't have anything to burn, but like, Marincess are about burning, and Life Twins are about burning, and now this is about burning. Oh, bother. Alrighty, everybody, so 60 card mechanized melee. We went 3 out of 4, which is very good. You know, that's pretty dang good for such a simplistic deck. You know, we're just trying to summon out our machines, beat into our opponent, do lots of damage, and hopefully there aren't any, like, idle girls with their burn effects in play. If I just got like a level 8 monster at some point during that, maybe I could have done so, like gone for one of my rank 8s, like Aegeon or Dengirzu or Sargass or any number of different things that could have happened. It's just, I have a whole bunch of different levels, and they didn't want to give me the same level today. So, regrettable, but it is what it is. And, you know, I'm happy with how the deck turned out. It's simple, straightforward. It's just my style. You know, in this day and age where everything's about negation and all these combos and wombos, and I like my combo wombos, but there comes to a point where it's too much. Sometimes you got to step back and take things nice and simple. And this deck is perfect for that. So, I'm happy with it. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Don't forget to hit the like button if you did enjoy it. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And here's the deck list if y'all want to take this deck out for a spin yourselves. So for our main deck today, we have ourselves 3 copies of Machina Ruin Force, 3 copies Citadel, 2 copies of Bullet Train, 3 copies of Therion's Irregular, 3 copies of Machina Metal Cruncher, 3 Therion Regulus, 2 copies of Machina's Megaform and Air Raider, 3 copies of Machina Fortress, 3 copies of Unclassed Spare, Gear Frame, Possessed Storage, and Resavager, 3 copies of Endless Engine Argos System, 3 Therion Charge, 3 Machina Redeployment, triple limit removal for all the good it did me. I could have won that last duel if I had you limit removal. We have a triple Forbidden Droplet. We have 3 Urgent Schedules, 3 Therion Disc Coliseum, and 3 Machina Overdrive. For the extra deck, we have 1 each of everything. That's 1 Barricade Board Blocker, 1 Double-Headed Anger Knuckle, 1 Fleetfort Genius. We have Dreadnought's Dreadnoid, Iron Wolf. We have Dracosac, Sea Castrum Aegeon, Dingirzu, Gigantic Champion Sargas, Phantom Fortress Enterlofnir, Infinite Track Earth Slicer, Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max, Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Superdora, Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Superior Libe, and 1 AA Zeus for all of the exceeds we got. As for the side deck, things like, you know, Carnet, the Eternal Machine, which can be just summoned from our hand or the grave anytime during a duel, as long as my opponent activated a monster effect in their hand. So that's nice for having a monster on the board. It's also level 10. If you want to go for these a little more consistently, that's an option. We have things like Inspector Border, which I refuse to play on principle unless I'm playing a troll deck. 3 copies of Scrap Recycler, which can just send a machine to the graveyard and recovers machines to draw you cards. But we kind of already do that, so don't really need this as much. Special Schedule can revive one of our high attack monsters like Machina Citadel or Bullet Train. And then last but not least, we have the Clockwork Knight, which turns everything into machines. It weakens my opponent and strengthens us. And I can banish it from the grave, discard a card, get any Earth Machine monster from my deck to my hand. Which, maybe I would sub out Therion's Charge, because I barely use the darn thing, but That's really a preference thing. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. We're getting into spooky season, which means soon Spooky Memphis will make his triumphant return from the closet, and we're going to have him play Mimigools and stuff like that. So look forward to that. Until next time, everybody, you stay safe and happy. You have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Take care now.